Welcome to Superbly Said Advanced English Vocabulary and Phrases.
Hello! Yes, we're diving into some really useful language today.
We are. It's all designed to give your English-speaking confidence a real boost.
Exactly. Think of us as your guides to help elevate your communication. This is definitely aimed at, advanced learners looking for that extra polish.
And just so you know, this whole deep dive comes from a great lesson over at SpeakDuo.
That's right.
So if you're looking to actually practice speaking English, maybe meet people from all over the world on video calls, build up that confidence, check out SpeakDuo.com. It's a really cool platform.
Yeah, definitely worth a look. But okay, our mission today. Let's unpack these phrases, not just what they mean, but like how they feel and where to use them.
Let's do it. Okay, first one up, to hold one's nose. I've definitely heard this one, usually when someone's reluctantly doing something. It gives me a very specific mental picture.
It really does, doesn't it? And that's key. The basic meaning is, tolerating something unpleasant. Literally, or more often, figuratively. Right. But the nuance here, and this is important, it implies this really strong sense of, disgust or aversion that you actively have to suppress.
Ah, okay. So it's not just inconvenient.
No. It suggests a real conscious internal struggle. You're making a compromise that feels, pretty unpleasant, maybe even a bit wrong to you.
Gotcha. It's signaling that distaste.
Precisely. It's not just dealing with it. It implies a kind of repulsion to the thing itself.
That makes sense. The example sentence you pulled really shows that he held his nose and accepted the job offer, even though it wasn't ideal. You can just feel the reluctance.
Exactly.
So how is that different from, say, gritting your teeth and bearing it? They sound kind of similar.
That's a great question. They both convey endurance, sure. But gritting your teeth often suggests more of a stoic, determined thing, like facing difficulty or pain head on.
Right.
Whereas holding your nose really emphasizes the distaste. It often hints at a moral or, aesthetic objection to the task itself.
I see. So you might grit your teeth through a really tough workout.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But you'd hold your nose if you had to, approve a project you thought was really unethical or just badly designed.
Perfectly put. That distinction, that layer of emotional distaste is what makes hold your nose so specific.
That's super useful. So in a work context, maybe talking to a colleague, you might say, honestly, I had to hold my nose and agree to that client's demands just to keep the project moving.
Yeah, that works perfectly. Or maybe in an IELTS response, if they ask about doing something you dislike.
Right. You could say, well, yes, I definitely held my nose and went to that awful networking event last month. I really hate small talk. But, it felt necessary for my job search.
Exactly. Captures that feeling perfectly. Okay, so from unpleasant necessities, let's shift gears a bit. Something lighter. To be tipsy?
Ah, yes. This one feels much more social, doesn't it?
Definitely. You hear it all the time.
And it always sounds a bit, fun, maybe slightly humorous.
It often is, yeah. So to be tipsy just means slightly drunk, a bit lightheaded from alcohol.
Slightly being the key word. Absolutely crucial. It's much milder than being properly drunk or intoxicated, where your speech or coordination might be really affected.
Right. So you're not falling over, but maybe you're laughing a bit more easily.
So exactly. It's that kind of pleasant buzz. Inhibitions are lowered a little, but you're still, basically in control.
The example sentence is pretty relatable, I think. After one glass of wine, I was already tipsy.
Happens to the best of us.
So how does tipsy compare to just being buzzed? Are they the same?
Very, very similar. Often used interchangeably, to be honest.
Okay.
But maybe tipsy can feel a little more playful, almost a touch old-fashioned sometimes, whereas buzzed might be a bit more, modern or direct.
Interesting.
Also, tipsy often implies a sort of noticeable, maybe slightly amusing change in how someone's acting. Buzzed can sometimes feel more like just an internal feeling.
Ah, I see that distinction. Like the sample answer for the question, what's your funniest memory of being tipsy?
Right, which was?
I started singing at a karaoke bar after half a cider. It was awful but fun. That highlights the amusing informal side.
It does. It's perfect for that mild, maybe slightly silly intoxication.
Yeah. You could use it talking about, say, the office holiday party.
Yeah,
by 10 p.m., a few people were getting a little tipsy, but it was all good fun, nothing too wild.
Exactly. It sets the right tone.
Yeah.
Okay, next up, let's talk about reactions. The phrase is to overreact.
Oh, boy. We've all seen this one happen, right? Or maybe done it ourselves, occasionally.
Perhaps. My first thought is always someone, making a huge deal out of something tiny.
Yeah, the classic mountain out of a molehill.
That's the perfect image for it. So to overreact means exactly that. Exaggerating your reaction or emotion way more than the situation really calls for.
Well, the response is just out of proportion.
Totally out of proportion. And that's key. It's
Yeah.
different from just getting emotional or being upset because those reactions can actually be totally appropriate for the situation. Overreacting specifically implies the emotion shown goes way beyond what's objectively justified by whatever happened.
So, like if someone spills a tiny bit of coffee and starts shouting, that's overreacting.
Textbook example. Or the sentence from the source. He overreacted during the play and made everyone laugh unintentionally. Just paints a picture of someone being way too intense.
It does. So what's the difference between overreacting and just, like, being dramatic?
Good question. Being dramatic often implies more of a personality trait, Someone who tends to exaggerate or seek attention through big emotions, even when things are calm.
Okay, like it's their usual style.
Kind of, yeah. Whereas overreacting is more about a specific instance, a particular moment where the reaction was too much for that specific trigger.
Ah, okay. So a generally calm person could still overreact to one specific thing?
Exactly. While a dramatic person might overreact more often, perhaps.
That's a really useful distinction. Helps you be more precise. You can say in a team meeting, maybe carefully, look, I think the client might be overreacting just a little bit to this minor delay.
Perfect. It conveys your assessment without being too confrontational. Okay, moving to a stronger feeling now, to be repulsive.
Ooh, yeah. This one feels visceral, like something that makes you physically want to pull back.
That's exactly the feeling it aims for. Repulsive means extremely unpleasant or disgusting. It's way stronger than just bad or unpleasant.
Definitely not subtle.
Not at all. It implies that deep feeling of revulsion, intense disgust. It's not just that you don't like it. It actively offends you somehow, your senses, maybe even your morals.
But you wouldn't use it for food that's just, I don't know, bland. It has to be genuinely sickening.
Right, or offensive in some way. The example is spot on. The smell of rotten eggs is repulsive. Nobody's debating that one.
No argument there. How does it differ from just saying something is disgusting? They seem very close.
They are very close, and honestly often used interchangeably. But maybe repulsive carries a slightly stronger sense of wanting to push something away. That feeling of recoil you mentioned. Avoidance.
Okay.
Disgusting might be applied a bit more broadly to a taste, a sight, even someone's behavior. Repulsive often really emphasizes the aversion it creates in you.
I get that subtle, extra push-away feeling. It's great for strong disapproval then. Like for an IELTS question about a bad experience.
Yeah.
You could say, the conditions in that hostel were frankly repulsive. The shared bathroom was unbelievably dirty. It made me feel physically ill.
Yeah.
It lands hard.
It certainly does. Okay, number 5. To act under pressure. This one's about performance, isn't it?
Yeah, it makes me think of those times you have to seem cool and confident, even if inside you're freaking out a little.
Haha, yes, like an actor forgetting their lines, but just carrying on.
Exactly. Keep smiling.
That's the core idea. To act here means performing or behaving in a certain way, specifically when you're pretending or improvising. Adding under pressure highlights that it's not your genuine feeling, but a necessary display in a tough situation.
So it's more than just pretending.
I think so. It often implies a more strategic projection. You're consciously putting forward an image of capability or calmness because the situation demands it.
Right. It's performing out of necessity. The example sentence fits. When I forgot my lines, I had to act like I knew what I was doing. You're filling the gap.
Precisely.
So how's this different from just, say, managing the situation?
Managing the situation is more about handling the practical side of things, the logistics, the outcome. Acting under pressure is specifically about your personal performance within that situation.
How you appear.
Exactly. How you present yourself, your reactions, even if internally you feel very different. You manage a crisis, but you act calm while doing it.
Got it. It's the whole fake it till you make it idea, really.
That sums it up perfectly.
You might have to act confident in a job interview, even if you're terrified, or act unfazed during difficult negotiations.
All great examples. Okay, next phrase is quite informal but very expressive. God-awful.
Yeah, this one really doesn't mince words. You use this when something is just truly terrible.
Absolutely. It packs a punch. God-awful is informal, yes, but it means extremely bad, unpleasant, terrible. It's a definite step up from just awful.
It feels more emphatic, like you're really expressing frustration.
Exactly. It carries a sense of exasperation, maybe profound disappointment. It signals strong negative feeling.
So not for something that's just meh. It's for the really bad stuff. Like the example, the traffic this morning was god-awful. We can all relate to that feeling.
Unfortunately, yes.
So is it different from just saying something is horrible?
It is slightly. Horrible is also strong, but god-awful adds that extra layer of informal, almost personal exasperation. Like, how could it possibly be this bad?
Right, like it's personally offending you.
Kind of. It's more colloquial, less formal than horrible. You might describe a tragedy as horrible, but you'd probably call a terrible movie god-awful.
Okay, that makes sense. It's more for everyday frustrations or really bad quality things. You might tell a friend, oh man, that blind date setup was god-awful, just painful from start to finish.
Exactly. Gets the message across loud and clear. Okay, shifting tone again. To be fascinated by something.
This one implies a really deep level of interest, doesn't it? More than just finding something, interesting.
Much more. It means being extremely interested or attracted to something. It suggests a powerful pull on your attention.
Like you're captivated.
Captivated's a great word for it. You feel compelled to learn more, to engage with it deeply. It's definitely a level above simple interest.
So not just, I like history, but I'm fascinated by ancient Roman engineering.
Perfect example. Or the one from the source. I'm fascinated by astronomy and the idea of other planets. You feel that deep, ongoing pull.
Yeah. So what's the nuance between being fascinated and being intrigued?
Another good comparison. Intrigued often suggests more of an initial spark of curiosity. Maybe something is puzzling or mysterious and you want to figure it out.
Okay, like a mystery novel might intrigue you.
Right. Whereas fascinated implies a deeper, more sustained engagement. You're not just curious, you're thoroughly absorbed, often in a positive way. You might be intrigued by a weird news story, but fascinated by the whole field of psychology.
That clarifies the intensity. So talking about work, instead of saying, I'm interested in this new AI tech, you could say,
I'm absolutely fascinated by the potential of generative AI. It shows real passion.
yeah, makes your interest sound much more profound. Okay, number 8 is a fun one, very modern.
Yeah.
To not be mad at something.
Yes. I like this one too. It's got that element of surprise.
Totally. It means you thought you wouldn't like it, or maybe you even dislike it, but surprise, you actually approve.
That's exactly the feeling. It's informal, and it means you surprisingly enjoy or approve of something. It's not like, wow, this is the best thing ever.
No, it's more low-key.
Yeah, more like an admission of unexpected pleasure or acceptance. It's casual, understated, and often hints that you overcame some initial skepticism.
Which is what makes it kind of charming, I think.
Yeah.
The example sentence is perfect. I'm not mad at this new trend. It actually looks cool. Like, against your better judgment, maybe?
Haha, could be. So the difference between this and just saying, I like it.
Yeah.
It's that element of surprise or the overcoming of skepticism. I like it is just straightforward positive. I'm not mad at it. Tells a little story. I expected less, but hey, this is actually all right.
Right. It adds personality. Like, okay, you win. This is good.
Exactly.
It's great for everyday stuff, even at work. I thought the new reporting template would be a nightmare, but actually, I'm not mad at it. It kind of works.
Perfect use case. Okay, last one, number 9. To be a little adjective. Seems simple, but it's important.
Yeah, it's all about softening things, right? Making it less intense. Instead of I'm stressed, you say I'm a little stressed.
Precisely. It's used to soften a description, show a slight degree of something. It makes your statement sound less extreme, less absolute. Really crucial for nuance.
Yeah, it sounds more human, maybe. Less like a declaration.
It does. It differentiates from just stating the adjective directly, which implies a much stronger, more definite state.
So if someone asks if you're worried, saying I'm a little worried feels different than just I'm worried. Less alarming, maybe?
Definitely less alarming, more approachable. Like the example, I was a little nervous before the presentation, but it went well in the end. It acknowledges the feeling without overstating it.
Okay. And how does it compare to using somewhat, like somewhat nervous?
A little generally feels more informal, more conversational than somewhat. Somewhat can sound a bit more detached, maybe more formal or academic.
Right.
A little often implies a smaller amount or intensity, sometimes used as a bit of an understatement. Somewhat is more of a neutral qualifier.
So you might write somewhat concerned in a report, but you tell a colleague I'm a little concerned.
Exactly. It makes your communication feel more precise, often more empathetic, especially when giving feedback or talking about potentially sensitive things. I think this draft is maybe a little unclear in this section. Sounds much better than this is unclear.
Such a small word, but makes a big difference. Okay, wow, we've covered some really useful, nuanced phrases today.
We have real tools to make your English more expressive.
Absolutely. And now, just to help make sure these stick, let's do a quick quiz, a little challenge for you listening.
Good idea.
Okay, I'll read the question and the options. I'll pause for just a few seconds, let you think about it. Take a moment to consider your answer. You've got this. Then we'll give you the correct answer and a quick reminder why. Ready?
Let's go.
Okay, question 1. What does it mean to hold one's nose in a figurative sense? Is it A, to pretend something good is actually bad, B, to accept something unpleasant because it's necessary, or C, to ignore someone else's mistake out of politeness? Short pause.
Okay, the answer is B. To accept something unpleasant because it's necessary. Remember, it's about enduring something you really dislike, often with that feeling of aversion, because you have to.
Got it. Question 2. What does it mean to be tipsy? Is it A, to stumble due to being very tired or dizzy, B, to be excited about something and full of energy, or C, to feel slightly drunk and lightheaded from alcohol? Short pause.
And the answer here is C. To feel slightly drunk and lightheaded from alcohol, it's that mild, often slightly amusing state before being fully drunk.
Perfect. Question 3. What does it mean to overreact? Is it A, to respond more dramatically than the situation calls for, B, to express your feelings honestly and without filter, or C, to change your mind after getting more information? Short pause.
Right, this one is A, to respond more dramatically than the situation calls for. The key is that the reaction is out of proportion to the actual event.
Makes sense. Question 4. What does it mean if something is repulsive? Is it A, it's extremely unpleasant or disgusting, B, it's a bit too intense or confusing, or C, it is unexpected and slightly inappropriate? Short pause.
The answer is A. It is extremely unpleasant or disgusting. Think strong negative reaction, that feeling of revulsion.
Okay, question 5. What does it mean to act under pressure? Is it A, to make others nervous by your emotional reaction, B, to do something quickly even if it's not needed, or C, to improvise or pretend confidently when stressed? Short pause.
And that would be C. To improvise or pretend confidently when stressed. It's about putting on that confident front when you don't necessarily feel it inside.
Question 6. If something is god-awful, what is it? Is it A, it's religiously offensive or controversial, B, it's extremely bad, unpleasant, or unbearable, or C, it's terribly boring and completely predictable? Short pause.
It's B. It's extremely bad, unpleasant, or unbearable. Remember that informal, emphatic way of saying something is just truly terrible.
Okay, nearly there. Question 7. What does it mean to be fascinated by something? Is it A, to be deeply interested or captivated by it, B, to be confused yet willing to explore it, or C, to be mildly curious and observant about it? Short pause.
The answer is A. To be deeply interested, captivated by it. It implies that really profound level of engagement and interest.
And the last one, question 8. What does it mean when someone says they're not mad at something? Is it A, they strongly dislike it but can't explain why, B, they're frustrated but choose to ignore it politely, or C, they didn't expect to like it but ended up approving it? Short pause.
And the final answer is C. They didn't expect to like it but ended up approving it. It's all about that pleasant surprise and casual, unexpected approval.
Nice. Hopefully that little quiz helped solidify things.
Yeah, well done if you got most of those right.
Yeah.
And honestly, using phrases like these, it really does make a difference. Your English just sounds more, well, natural.
Yeah.
More expressive and definitely more confident.
Totally agree. They add so much color. So here's a little challenge for you listening. Pick just one or two of these phrases. Maybe to be fascinated by something you genuinely are, or maybe try using I'm not mad at it next time something pleasantly surprises you. Consciously try to slip them into a conversation this week. Seriously, these small, consistent steps, they add up. That's how you really make progress and start sounding more natural.
It really is, little by little.
And don't forget, if you want more practice, build that speaking confidence, you can always visit SpeakDuo.com.
Great resource.
Well, that's all from us for this deep dive. Until next time.
Keep talking, keep learning. Bye for now.